Now, Jim, this is a photo of soldiers over just after the Battle of Cassino. Now, you were drafted into World War II in 1941. Tell us a little bit about that and about, just very briefly, where you fought and what it was for you.
Yes, well, I went over to Burnham military camp and we did our training there, and then later on the first time I drove an army vehicle, and I drove it up with troops at the back, up to Marlborough, and was taken to the military camp at Waterloo Racecourse. And after a certain amount of training, I went to Littleton and went up by boat to Wellington, and we hopped aboard the troop ship there, the Miltan, and we went to Egypt via Bombay, and we did some military training there for about 6 weeks, and then we were put onto a troop ship called the Miltan, went through the Suez Canal and across to Italy, and by bus or army truck at least, I went to a place called Vanafra, and then in no time at all I was fighting in Cassino, and at one stage, in the very early stage in fact, with Arthur Heinemann from Rimu, I was required to load 2 donkeys up and take ammunition because they were running short of ammunition up at Mount Torelli, and we had a very narrow escape because the shells were flying in, and we ducked into the edge of a little terrace, and there was a direct hit on one of the donkeys, so that upset things a bit. But we finally got loaded and delivered our supply up the mountain, and I fought then in Cassino, and went on to a place called Archie, and we had a West Coast reunion there, and it was really wonderful. We all had a certain amount of vino, and we were singing West Coast songs, and
that's where this photo was taken, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah. And after that, we got mobile when the breakthrough happened, and the Poles were the first to break through at Cassino. We went on to Florence, and Major General Sandy Thomas was our commanding officer, and he was sitting on the top of a tank, and I was sitting right behind him. There was 6 of us on a tank, and we went in on tanks to liberate Florence. And there's always been an argument about who were the first into Florence, but both Major General Sandy Thomas and I are certain we were the first 2, and we stand by that. And the General now lives in Australia in Bow Desert, and he communicates with me and I communicate with him, and he came over to our battalion reunion, 2-3 battalion reunion, that we run in Hokitika in 2001. And when I was wounded up on the Rubicon River, back to Barry for hospital treatment, and put onto a troop ship, the Maunganui, I think it was, and we came back to Wellington. Hokitika doctor was there to meet me on the wharf and had a look at my wound, and I was sent back to Hokitika, and then I was sent up to Hanmer Springs for treatment, and after about 3 to 4 months treatment there, I came home and set to live as a citizen and
back to normal life.
Back to normal life.